Are you constantly second-guessing outfits because nothing seems to sit right on your body? You are not the problem. The clothes are. In this video, I will show you how to dress for your body shape so you actually feel sharp, polished, and comfortable at work. Hi, my name is Basia and I am an ex-celebrity stylist turned personal stylist with over 15 years of experience, and I work with driven women who want their wardrobe to reflect their authority and success at work. If you're ready to build a wardrobe that helps you look and feel more confident, professional, and aligned with your career goals, grab your free elevated work style guide. I'm going to link it in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Wednesday. Without further ado, let's dive in. Outside of wearing clothes you absolutely love, selecting the right silhouette for your body shape is really important. And why? Well, because it's often where your confidence comes from. When something feels off, whether it's a blazer, a dress, or a pair of pants, like it makes you look taller, shorter, bigger, smaller, or just not quite right, chances are the silhouette is wrong for your shape. And as you know, there are so many different silhouettes when it comes to blazers, dresses, pants, overall all the clothes, obviously. So choosing the right one for your body is key. But to do that, we have to start with one thing: knowing your shape. Once you know your shape, you can find the right pieces that flatter it, and that's when your clothes really start working for you. Now, when I analyze my clients' body shapes, I always look at three really important keys, okay? I'm going to walk you through exactly what to look for, okay? So number one, measurements. So you will need to take 4 measurements, okay? Your shoulders measurement, chest, waist, and hips. This will make more sense as we dive into each body shape in detail, okay? So don't worry about it so much now. Now, to do this, you want to grab the measuring tape and take the measurements around each area. So you want to measure around your shoulder line, across your chest, at your waist, and around your hips. The tape should be snug but not tight, just enough to get a clear measurement, okay? Next, put on some athletic leisure and take a picture. When you look at the photo, you will start to notice which part of your body are narrower and which parts are fuller. Now, this will also help you understand your shape more clearly. Again, this will all come together when we look at each body shape individually, okay? Lastly, here's a question I always ask my clients. Where do you usually gain weight? This can also give clues about your body shape. So for example, I tend to gain weight in my chest and waist. I've noticed this since I can remember. It's one of the reasons I have an inverted triangle body shape. Now, before we get started, if you've ever heard terms like apple shape, pear shape, cucumber shape, or whatever other, fruit and vegetables people thrown around, let's just get one thing straight, shall we? Our bodies are not fruits, neither are vegetables. We should definitely not naming our bodies after them. So with that said, let's dive in. Typically, there are 5 main body shapes: triangle, inverted triangle, rectangle, oval, and hourglass. Now, most women will fall under one of these, but here's the thing. We are all built differently, and it's very common to be a mix of a few. So instead of trying to squeeze yourself into one category, it's more helpful to recognize that you might have attributes from different shapes, and that's totally normal. So we're going to start with the triangle body shape. Now, if you have a triangle body shape, you will notice that your hips are wider than your shoulders, creating that classic triangle silhouette. Typically, the shoulder to hip ratio is more pronounced, with narrower shoulder and hips that are wider, giving you that distinct triangle shape. Many women with this shape also have a smaller waist and a smaller chest. A great example of this body shape the real world is Alicia Keys and J-Lo. Now, if you take a look at them, you can clearly see how their hips are more pronounced than their shoulders, and they tend to carry more weight in their legs and hips. And this makes them a perfect example of the triangle body shape. Now, what silhouette should you wear if you have a triangle body shape? Now, to create a balance between your narrower shoulders, smaller chest and waist, and your prominent hips, you want to keep your lower half simple and bring more interest to the upper half. This means adding volume or details with pieces like puffy sleeves, boat neck or crew neck tops, button-up shirts, turtlenecks, off-the-shoulder styles, or really any kind of silhouette that draws the eye upward and hips visually balance your shape. For the bottom half, you will want to stick to clean and structured pieces like high-waisted straight leg pants, pencil skirts, A-line skirts or wrap skirts that gently hug your hips without adding extra volume. Now, here's what to definitely avoid. Now, anything with too much detail around the hips, like pleats, like ruffles, or fit and flare styles, as well as pieces that are too tight, like skinny jeans, which tend to highlight the hips even more. So instead of go for like the straight leg pants or jeans that create a long balanced line and feel effortless but polished at the same time. So let's talk about the inverted triangle body shape. Now, if you have this shape, you will notice that your shoulders are broader than your hips, giving your upper body a more dominant look. Typically, your shoulder to hip ratio is more defined, with wider shoulders, a fuller chest, and a narrower lower half, often with slimmer hips and legs. Many women with this shape also have a little to no waist definition and tend to carry more volume in their upper body. This shape is really common among athletes or women who work out more with their upper body, like gymnasts and swimmers, but you don't have to be athlete to have this shape. Some women who are naturally lean also fall into this category, like Kate Middleton or Renee Zellweger. Now, what silhouettes should you wear if you have an inverted triangle body shape? Now, the goal here is to soften the shoulders and add volume to the lower half to create more balance. And this means keeping the top half simple and sleek. You want to select clean lines like V-necks, round necks, or wrap styles that visually narrow the upper body and avoid adding extra bulk. Then for the bottom half, this is where you can play with shapes and volume. You can try wide leg pants, culottes, flared trousers, A-line or tier skirts, anything that adds shape and presence to your lower body. Now, here's what you should definitely avoid. Bold shoulder details like shoulder pads, puffy sleeves, or high necklines that draw attention to your upper body, and anything that makes your top half feel heavier. Essentially, you want to keep your upper part of the body simpler and cleaner. And those silhouettes will add extra bulk to your upper body, which definitely you want to avoid. So let's talk about rectangular shape. Now, if you have a rectangular body shape, your shoulders, waist, and hips are about the same width, giving you a straighter silhouette with minimum natural curves. You might hear it described as straight or athletic figure. Now, this shape tends to have a small to medium bust and less defined waist and balanced top and bottom half. Now, women with this shape often have a leaner look, and they usually don't gain weight in one specific area. It's more evenly distributed. A great example of this body shape is Cameron Diaz or Nicole Kidman. If you look at them, their figures are long and straight, and they don't naturally have a strong hourglass curve. Now, what silhouettes should you wear if you have a rectangular body shape? Now, the key is to create the illusion of curves by defining the waist and adding shape to both the bottom and the top. So for your top half, go for styles that add volume or softness, like wrap tops, puffy sleeves, or ruching at the bust. Tucking your shirt in is also a great way to define the waistline. And when it comes to the bottoms, look for silhouettes that add shape to the hips and create movement. Think wide leg trousers, paperback waist pants, flared jeans, A-line skirts, or tulip skirts. These pieces help add more volume, which helps make this body shape more feminine. Now, what you should avoid: anything that makes your body look even boxier, or silhouettes that don't help you create a waistline. So sheath dresses without any structure, oversized tops, or drop waist styles can all make your shape look straighter than it is. Now, low rise pants are another one to skip. They visually shorten the torso and flatten out your shape even more. Instead, stick with pieces that nip in at the waist and add more volume, either on top or bottom, to create the illusion of curves and give your figure more shape and dimension. So let's talk about the hourglass body shape. Now, if you have an hourglass body shape, your chest and hips are roughly the same width, and you have a well-defined waist that's noticeably small. This creates that classic balanced silhouette that many people associate with curves in all the right places. I'm sure you heard that. Now, women with this shape often have evenly distributed weight and balanced proportions. Sofia Vergara is a great example. You can clearly see her curves, especially how her defined waist creates that balanced hourglass look. Now, what silhouette should you wear if you have an hourglass shape? Now, the key here is to highlight your waist and follow the natural lines of your body without really adding unnecessary volume. So fitted and tailored styles work best, like wrap dresses, belted jackets, high-waisted trousers, and pencil skirts are all amazing choices. You can also play with like V-necks, scoop necks, and any top that emphasizes the waistline or draws attention to your neckline. Now, when it comes to your bottoms, go for like structured skirts or pants that sit right at your natural waist. Well-fitted pieces, nothing too baggy or oversized, will highlight your shape without overwhelming it. Now, clean lines and good tailoring are key to showing off your figure in a polished way. Now, here's what you should avoid. Avoid boxy or shapeless styles that hide your waist. Your shape is all about definition, okay? Now, things like oversized pieces or drop waist cuts can take away from that and make you look bigger than you actually are. And try not to wear styles that add volume to both your hips and chest at the same time. It can throw off your natural balance. So let's talk about the circle body shape. Now, if you have this shape, you will notice that your midsection is where you carry the most volume. Your bust and your waist are usually close in measurement, and your arms and legs tend to be slimmer in proportion. Now, the shoulder line is often softer and rounder, and the waist isn't very defined. A good real-world example of this shape is Jessica Simpson. So if you look at her body line, you can see how most of the fullness is through her torso, and her legs stay relatively lean, which is very common for this shape. Now, what silhouettes should you wear if you have a circle body shape? Now, the goal here is to take the focus away from the midsection and create more definition around the waist while drawing the eye upward or downward. So, tops that work well include V-necks, wrap tops, structured blazers, and button-downs that don't clinch to the stomach. You want pieces that skim the body, but still give a little shape. So nothing too tight, but also nothing shapeless. Empire waist tops or dresses that sit just below the bust also work really, really well because they create a visual line that lifts everything up. Now, when it comes to bottoms, You can go for like straight leg or bootcut pants, A-line skirts, and high-rise trousers that sit flat across the stomach. Just avoid anything that adds bulk at the waist, like thick belts and those paper bag styles, or like too many gathers and pleats right where you carry the most volume. Here's what you should definitely avoid. Clingy, stretchy fabrics around the midsection, oversized or boxy tops that blur your shape completely, and anything too tight that hugs the waist without giving structure. Also be careful with drop waist styles or long tunics that end at the widest point of your midsection. They can visually widen your frame. Now instead, go for clean lines, smart tailoring, and anything that helps redirect the eye up or down instead of across the middle. So now you know exactly how to dress for your body shape. If you're ready to take your wardrobe to the next level without defaulting to boring corporate dresses and great suits, I have a free resource for you, Elevated Work Style Guide. I'm going to link it in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to get notified when I post a new video, which is every Wednesday. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.